So let's talk about something that frustrates a lot of gardeners: slow composting. You put in all this effort, you turn the pile, you wait, and honestly, it just feels like nothing's happening fast enough. The truth is, slow composting can really hold back your garden's potential, and, well, it's a problem more common than you might think. If your compost takes 3, 4, even 6 months to break down, you're not composting wrong. You're just composting slow. And that slowness is exactly why most gardeners never see real results from their soil. By the time your compost is ready, your growing season is already halfway gone. Your plants have already struggled, and you've already compensated by dumping in fertilizers that your soil can't even hold. Here's the part most people don't realize. Slow composting doesn't just delay nutrients, it weakens your entire soil system. Nutrients sit locked up, microbial activity stays low, and your plants end up growing in soil that's technically amended but biologically inactive. That's why yields stay average even when you're doing everything right. So, what can you actually do about it? Well, there's a better way, and honestly, it's simpler than most folks realize. We're going to look at a practical solution, and I'll walk you through a real experiment that shows just how much faster and more effective composting can be. Stick around, because this could really change the way you garden. One small change fixed that for me, and it started with consistency. I began collecting kitchen scraps daily instead of letting them pile up or dry out, using a simple countertop compost bin, the Enloy compost bin. It keeps odors contained with charcoal filters, which sounds minor, but it solved a real problem. I stopped avoiding composting indoors. That meant fresher inputs, more nitrogen, and faster breakdown. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Now let's get into the method that changed everything. This is the moment I realized my compost was way too slow. I had 2 raised beds side by side, same soil mix, same crops, tomatoes and peppers. One bed got traditional compost that had been sitting for months. The other got a fast-activated compost mix I had been experimenting with. Within 2 weeks, the difference was obvious. Not subtle, obvious. The fast compost bed had darker leaves, thicker stems, and noticeably faster growth. The other bed looked fine, but just fine. That's when it clicked. It wasn't just about having compost. It was about how fast that compost becomes biologically active. And that's where most compost systems fail. Traditional composting methods often break down for one simple reason: they just take too long. When materials sit around for months without the right balance of moisture, air, and fresh inputs, they lose their punch. By the time you add that compost to your garden, a lot of the nutrients and beneficial microbes are already gone. That's why so many folks end up disappointed, wondering why their plants aren't thriving. It's not that compost doesn't work. It's that slow, neglected compost just isn't doing the job it could be. Why traditional composting is actually holding you back. The standard advice is always the same: layer greens and browns, turn it every week, wait a few months. That works, but it's inefficient. What's really happening in those piles is slow microbial colonization. You're waiting for microbes to multiply, break things down, and stabilize the material, but you're not actively accelerating that process. So your compost sits there, heating up, cooling down, drying out, getting wet again, and all that inconsistency slows everything. In real gardening conditions, especially in smaller backyards or container setups, you don't have time for that. You need something faster and more controlled. So let's talk about a faster way to compost. Instead of just waiting around, you can actually take control of the process. By focusing on a few key steps, like prepping your materials, managing moisture, and boosting your microbe population, you can seriously speed things up. It doesn't have to be complicated either. With a little intention and some simple tweaks, you'll be amazed at how quickly your scraps turn into garden gold. Honestly, Once you try this approach, you'll wonder why you ever waited months for compost to be ready. What actually makes compost break down fast? Composting speed comes down to three things: particle size, moisture consistency, and microbial density. Most people only focus on one, usually greens and browns, and ignore the other two. When I started chopping my inputs smaller, keeping moisture consistent, and actively introducing microbes, everything changed. And I mean everything. Instead of waiting months, I started seeing usable compost in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. Not fully finished compost, but active, microbially rich material that plants actually respond to immediately. So this is the fast compost method I now use in real gardens. I don't build massive piles anymore. Honestly, I just work in smaller, more controlled batches these days. I take kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, fruit waste, and coffee grounds and mix them with dry carbon materials such as shredded cardboard, dry leaves, or sawdust. The ratio I aim for is roughly 1 part greens to 2 parts browns by volume. But here's the difference that really matters. I chop or break everything down into smaller pieces. The smaller the material, the faster those microbes can work. Then I adjust the moisture carefully. When you squeeze the mix, it should feel like a wrung-out sponge. Not dripping, but definitely not dry. And then comes the part that, honestly, most people skip. I inoculate the pile with live microbes right away. Instead of just waiting around for microbes to show up, I go ahead and introduce them myself. I use a handful of finished compost, leaf mold, or even just soil from a healthy garden bed. That material is already packed with active microbes, and I mix it directly into the pile. Now, instead of starting from zero, you're starting with a fully active microbial population, and that alone cuts composting time dramatically. After setting up your compost batch, it's important to keep an eye on things. Every few days I check the moisture level and give the pile a quick turn to keep air moving through. If it feels a bit dry, I'll add a splash of water. If it's too wet, I'll mix in some more dry material. Within a few weeks, you'll notice the pile heating up and breaking down fast. Once the compost looks dark and crumbly, it's ready to use. I just spread it around my garden beds or mix it into potting soil, and honestly, my plants have never looked better. But the real acceleration happens when you stop letting the pile sit untouched. This is where I disagree with a lot of traditional advice. Turning once a week is just not enough if you want speed. In my fast compost setup, I turn or mix the material every 2 to 3 days. Not aggressively, just enough to redistribute moisture and oxygen. What this does is prevent anaerobic pockets and keep microbial activity consistent. And consistency is what creates speed. In warm conditions, I've had piles heat up within 48 hours and stay active without crashing. That's when you know it's working. Here's how you know your compost is actually working fast. Most people judge compost by time. That's a mistake. You should judge it by activity. If your pile heats up quickly, stays moist, and starts breaking down visibly within days, not weeks, you're on the right track. You'll notice textures changing fast. Food scraps lose their shape. Materials start blending into a uniform mix. And the smell is key. It should smell earthy, slightly sweet, not rotten. If it smells bad, something's off. Usually too much moisture or not enough oxygen. How I use this fast compost before it's fully finished. This is where things get interesting. You don't always need to wait for fully finished compost. In my raised beds, I use this active compost as a top dressing. I apply a thin layer about 2 to 3 centimeters around plants and lightly mix it into the topsoil. Then I water it in. What happens is that microbes immediately integrate into the soil and start breaking things down right where the roots are. In container gardening, I mix small amounts into the top layer to avoid overwhelming the system. And in hydroponic setups, specifically semi-organic ones like cocoa coir, I use filtered compost extract instead of raw compost. That gives me microbial benefits without clogging the system. So there you have it. By following these steps, you can really see the difference in your garden. Remember, patience and consistency are key. Over time, you'll notice healthier plants and, honestly, a much more vibrant space. Thanks for sticking with me and happy gardening. Why this method outperforms slow compost every time. Slow composting gives you stability. Fast composting gives you activity. And for growing plants, especially heavy feeders, activity matters more. Plants don't just need nutrients, they need a constant flow of available nutrients. Fast compost systems create that flow because microbes are actively breaking down material in real time. That's why you see faster growth, stronger plants, and better resilience. The mistake that will completely ruin your results. There's one mistake that will slow everything down instantly, letting the pile dry out. Even 1 or 2 dry days can reduce microbial activity significantly. I've tested this multiple times. A pile that stays consistently moist will outperform one that dries and gets rewatered, even if everything else is the same. The second mistake is overloading greens. Too much nitrogen creates a wet, compacted pile that turns anaerobic fast. Stick close to that 1-to-2 ratio and adjust based on how the pile feels. What this looks like after a full growing season. After consistently using this method, your soil starts changing. Not just in nutrients, but in structure. It becomes looser, darker, and better at holding moisture. You'll notice roots growing deeper and spreading more aggressively. And the biggest change, you stop relying on external inputs because your system starts feeding itself. That's when you know you've moved beyond basic composting into real soil building. If you've made it this far, you're already thinking differently than most gardeners. This is the kind of approach that works whether you're growing in a backyard, raised beds, containers, or even hybrid hydro systems. If you want more real-world methods like this, tested, not theoretical, subscribe to the channel, because once you understand how to control microbial activity, everything in your garden speeds up. And when your soil works faster, your plants do too. Share this with someone still waiting months for compost to finish.